Jason J. Hamilton here with KIS Financial Planning. We're here today to talk to some younger people and some older people about money. Hopefully you learned something today. All right, we're here today with Kim. We're going to talk a little bit about personal finance, retirement, and what's holding young people back, and what's made some people successful with their finances when it's coming towards retirement. Kim, how are you doing today?
Fine. How are you?
Good. Kim, we just got in a conversation because you overheard me talking about some statistics and the baby boomer generation. Would you consider yourself part of that generation?
Absolutely.
Okay. So, statistically, 95% of baby boomers will not have enough money to retire.
Correct.
So, Kim, are you in that 95% or not?
No.
No, that's awesome. So you're in the top 5%.
Right.
So what does it take to be in the top 5% of baby boomers? What are some of the things that you did?
Well, my husband was told something. If you saved 1 penny in the beginning, you know the old joke about, and you say you doubled it
1 penny a day, yes, and you doubled it for 30 days.
Doubled 30 days,
Yep.
you would have $1 million.
Yep.
Well, he started thinking about that, and instead we started realizing you can't obviously do that.
Right.
So we started saving.
Yep.
And he worked for Northrop Grumman.
Okay.
And he was a rocket scientist.
Wow.
And so over the years, he had a retirement. He also had a 401k.
Okay.
And we invested. Tech bubble wiped us out almost once.
Okay.
But still, we continued to save.
Yep.
Then when I started working, we had a 403b.
Okay.
We saved half of my income.
Wow.
Every month. Put it away into a 403b. Because we knew anything that we got from the government was not going to be there.
Yes. So,
or potentially not be going to be there.
yes. And that's a big fear of millennials right now, is
Right.
that Social Security won't be there
Right.
when they go to retire. And there are chances that that might happen, but it's not likely. But it's still a fear for
It's
everybody.
still a fear, and we didn't want to live with that fear.
Yeah.
And I already, lived with the aerospace
Yeah.
every few years, so we didn't
Yeah.
want to live that way.
So you made a choice to make sure that you put yourself in the right position so you don't have to rely on the government to take care of you when you retire.
Yes.
Did somebody tell you to make that choice?
No, we decided to do it.
You just decided?
Well, his parents also did it.
Okay.
They were teachers.
Okay. So, and they were teachers, normal incomes, they didn't make $1 million a year and they retired?
No, his father was a professor at a junior college, and his mother had been secondary education teacher.
So would you say people need to make, $200,000-$300,000 a year to retire comfortably?
I would think you need a really good income. Yeah. I don't understand how anybody's going to retire today.
It's very challenging. What do you think young people should be thinking about when they're going to attend college?
As financially?
Okay. Then the way that I was brought up, if you want something, you save the money until you have it.
You save the money you pay for it.
Yeah, and then you pay for it.
Yeah.
But don't go into debt.
Don't go into debt.
Yeah. So that
Use
means
the credit card.
No, don't use the credit cards.
Well,
So you wait until you have the money for a car, even if it is an old car.
Yep.
Until you have the money for a new car.
I absolutely agree. Why do you think young people have the opposite perception? Like they have to build a credit score first, they have to finance a car, and they have to use a credit card?
Why? Because of all the commercials on TV. They are just differently.
Yeah.
Right? It's the mindset here in this country is different.
What country are you from originally?
Germany.
Germany. So in Germany, they don't have the same thought process.
In the meantime,
Yeah.
I would say yes.
Okay.
It's coming close to what it's here. I can
Yeah.
see the difference already.
Yeah.
My sister is 14 years younger than I am.
Okay.
She was raised the very same way that I was,
Okay.
but her thoughts are different.
So 95% of people getting close to retirement are not able to retire with enough money. Do you think you're going to be able to? And if you are, what are some of the things that you did to get yourself there?
I think I have enough money to retire. And what I did, I always lived moderately. Yeah, put enough money on the side because I knew at one point I would be 60, 65, whatever. Yeah.
It's going to come someday, right?
Well, when I will need it. Yeah.
Yeah. So live on less than you make, consistently save over time, and have a plan for when you're ready to retire.
Yes.
Awesome. Thanks. That's all I needed. Thank you so much. Is it okay if we use this on YouTube channel?
Oh, okay.
Talking to a few young people about finances, specifically for younger people, the student loan debt crisis. Right now it's about $1.3 trillion, growing at $2,700 per second. Have you guys heard about this, first of all, and what do you think young people should do about that?
I've never heard of this.
You've never heard that?
No,
Are
ever.
you in college?
Nope.
Are you out of college?
I did 2 years in high school. But
Okay.
yeah.
So did you end up with a big chunk of student loans like a lot of young people?
No,
No? How'd you avoid student loans?
because the school pays for it.
The school paid for it, so
Yeah.
you got scholarships or grants?
No, I don't know.
It's a school program that lets junior and senior year you get
Okay.
your high school credits through college and get your college.
That's the second
credits
time
off.
I've heard that today. So tell me about that a little bit. Like, how do you get college credits in high school so it saves you money when you actually do transfer?
So the high school goes with the college day, and then you take your high school credits, and then you take them through the classes at Clark, or
So you
the
get your
college.
AA.
So you can get your AA degree and then move forward after.
So is that like AP courses and things like that, or is it you take them at the actual college?
You take them at the actual college.
Okay, so you can take the courses at the college, get college credit, but also get high school credit at the same time.
Correct. Yep.
Did you end up going to college to take advantage of that?
No, I never did. I did go and get some college credits,
Yeah.
but then I got a job and they didn't require schooling.
Nice.
And so.
Okay. We're here today just talking a little bit about just young people's thoughts about money. You said you're from Germany, so you may have a little bit different perspective. How do young people think about money there when it comes to saving, paying for college, buying cars? What do they typically do there?
Well, I think few young people buy cars because it's too expensive, and they think more and more about keeping their money for when they're older.
Okay.
Because we know that when we are when we finish, how do you say, when you're
Retirement?
when you're retired?
Yeah.
Yes. We know that we won't get a lot of money then.
Why don't you think you'll get a lot of money?
No, we don't. We don't get a lot of money when we're retired.
Okay, you don't get a lot
Because
of money.
there are only a few young people who pay now. So when we are old, there are even fewer people who pay for us then.
And that's a similar problem we're facing here. A lot of people think Social Security will go away. It's estimated to be about 75% by 2034. So we definitely encourage young people to start saving as early as possible so that they can do that. In Germany, do you think it's easy for people to save money at a young age?
Yes, it is. If you know how to keep your money, if you don't spend it all,
Yeah.
it's quite easy, I'd say.
So what's the trick to keeping your money and not spending it all?
Well, you shouldn't go shopping every weekend,
Yeah.
and maybe you shouldn't go to expensive bars or buy expensive things.
So basically live within your means, spend less than you make, and put money aside every month. Do you do a written plan, or do you have a plan for your money each month as you're living?
Yes, I have an app, and I can choose how much money I have for a month, and every time I spend money, I write it in the app, and at the end of the month, the app says me how much money I have left.
That's awesome. What app is that?
Well, there are more apps. They're called like money calculator, or you could search for that in the marketplace.
Yeah, that's awesome. I think, like you said, if people just have some sort of system, if they write it down, they use an app on their phone and keep track of it, it's really that simple. But why do you think most people in America don't do that?
Why they don't do it?
Yeah.
Maybe because they think like you only live once, you have to spend your money, you have to have fun in your life,
Yeah.
and you could die tomorrow.
How can we help young people see a different mindset here? Like, what are some things they do in Germany, if they do anything, to help people think differently?
Well, if you want to have a family, you know that kids cost a lot of money.
Yes.
And that's why you should always have some money by your side. And you never know if you have like an accident or you need something. I know the healthcare is not that good in the States,
Yeah.
like in Germany. So maybe you're gonna need a lot of money suddenly without knowing it. So
Yeah.
it's always good to have in your on the bank.
Some money saved in a bank.
Yes.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much, Bella. We appreciate you sharing that wisdom. It really is wisdom that is absent in a lot of young people's minds. Less than 30% of people here actually do a written plan every single month. And 76% of people in this country live paycheck to paycheck, which means they don't save any money at all. So we're trying to change that. And I appreciate you sharing your thoughts and what they do in other countries to make sure they end up with a good savings and a good retirement. Thank you so much. Thank you. And are we okay to use this on YouTube?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome.